this week as Team Penske formed an alliance with AJ Foyt Racing. See what the rookie Benjamin Peterson can do here in qualifying. Mark, he's already into turns 3 and 4.
Setting up for turn number 4, left wheels just above the white line at the apex of the turn. Comes to turn number 4 and sees the checkered flag in the air off of 176.501. Lap number 2, 176.990. The 2-lap average for Benjamin Peterson, 176.745. Davey, we should make mention that technical alliance, according to all parties involved, that's something that is immediate. It's not going to wait until next year.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's happening right now. Talked to some of the Foyt crew members today, and again this morning, Frucci does feel like he has a pretty darn good car. Didn't show it on timing and scoring. He goes, I got some saved there. I think I'm going to be good. So we'll see what happens.
Jay Query.
The numbers, Ed Carpenter has a top 5 finish here. He has now qualified for the 8th time at Gateway, an average starting spot of 17th, average finishing spot of 17th. But did you get the most numbers out of that 33-bit now machine?
Probably not. We've been struggling as of late, and this definitely hasn't been our strongest place the past couple of years. So, unfortunately, I'm not doing a good enough job. As a group, we're not doing a good enough job right now. So hopefully my teammates can learn something from that and get a little better starting position for themselves.
I guess the elementary question would be, if there's speed just a little bit that's missing, are you able to determine exactly where that is?
No, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in if we had all the answers. We've been searching here the back half of the season, and not trying to sound super critical because the whole group is working very hard, but we just haven't found what we're missing or what the common denominator is, and some of our struggles. So we'll keep fighting. Definitely no quit in our team, and we'll be back.
Best of luck this afternoon.
Thanks.
Ed Carpenter.
Stingray Robb has taken the green flag, comes off of turn number 4. This will be the 15th start of his career, year number 1 of the NTT Indycar Series. His average finish on the season, 22.9, looking to finish the season strong. One of those guys is wondering what his future is going to hold. Nick Yeoman, lap number 1 for Stingray Robb, 176.751.
And a reminder to newer casual IndyCar fans, we qualify them on ovals in reverse entrant points. So theoretically, based on the season, we'll see the faster cars go out later and later in this session. Stingray Robb's been a tough rookie season. Maybe looking for a bright spot, Mark, as he gets the checkered flag in qualifying.
Picks it up quite a bit off of 176.751, Davey. Lap number 2, 178.854. That bumps his 2-lap average to 177.792.
Yeah, not bad. We know how much he likes this racetrack. Probably not where he really wants to be. I think that 178.9, and that we're going to get over 180. I just have a feeling that we're going to get over 180 today. So that kind of gives you an idea where these guys are going to fall in.
Joseph Newgarden did that in practice yesterday, the only one to do so, in fact. Michael Young.
Yeah, with Benjamin Peterson, never easy going out early. The conditions from last night to this morning, night and day different?
There's a bit more grip overall, but no, pretty good run on my part, I feel. I think we had a technical issue with the weight jacker, so I think it was collapsing, so I just had to reset it every straightaway, which was a bit odd, but that was everything I could get out of it, I feel. First IndyCar qualifying here, pretty different than an Indy Next car, but we'll see how she rolls here. But yeah, I felt like I left everything on the table, so that's all I can do.
Bottom line, good race car?
I think so. Honestly, we looked pretty good yesterday in longer runs, so yeah, hopefully we can carry our Indy 500 in Texas performance from earlier in the year and deliver the team a strong result.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
That's Benjamin Peterson, 2-lap average, 176.745.
Run is underway for Devlin DeFrancesco in his second season, and this is career start number 32 for Devlin DeFrancesco. Got the weekend off to a good start a couple of weeks ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with a qualifying position of 5th, and made a great move at the start of it to get up front. It ended up finishing in the 19th position. Nick Yeoman, lap number 1 of the books for Devlin DeFrancesco, 178.783.
Yeah, I'm still trying to pick my jaw off the floor, Mark, for that incredible pass that he made at the start of the race. We'll see what he can do in qualifying. That car is baby blue and white off of turn number 4. The driver from Canada, it's Devlin DeFrancesco.
178.783, a very consistent run. 178.939, the 2-lap average, Davey, 178.861.
Yeah, now we're talking. I think that's numbers are going to be more respectable. It's going to be towards the middle of the field, but that's pretty respectable time. A good job for him in that car. A little different seeing him in that light powder blue car. It's hard to recognize him this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to have a few that might throw us from time to time. As we mentioned, the cobbled together effort by Marcus Erickson, and but we're looking at a couple of iconic entries for Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan Racing in terms of sponsorship. The My Jack livery on that car for Connor Daly.
Hogan back on.
Yeah, Hogan
awesome?
back on Graham Rahall's car as well. Let's go to pit road, check in with Jay Query.
Stingray Rob is out of his Good Heart Animal Health Center Honda. Let's begin by asking this, Stingray. You make your initial qualifying effort here in your rookie campaign at Gateway, but I want to just talk about your season in general. We're headed down the home stretch here towards the last 3 races. How would you assess your rookie season?
So far I haven't done what I wanted to, but this track here seems to suit our car really well, so maybe that'll change this weekend.
What challenges does this track present for you?
I think that in general this track is just very unique in the sense that both ends of the track are very different. 1 and 2 is a big brake zone essentially for an oval, and you're going down a couple gears there, and then 3 and 4 you're almost flat out. So that just adds a different element to it, and with the wind direction you never know what you're going to get. So with the grandstands clearing out down there, it's just a different race car at both ends.
And you heard mention of that wind. Stingray Rob, appreciate it. There is a breeze that is blowing. It comes off of turn 4, intermittently marked, but when it kicks up, it is there. Probably more so even than we saw yesterday. But that's the rookie Stingray Rob.
Even though the decision was made to move on from Connor Daly by Ed Carpenter Racing earlier this year, Nick Yeoman, he has still managed to he's going to make his 10th start this weekend in the NTT Indycar Series.
Yeah, picked up a couple starts for Meyer-Shank Racing, and now moving into the 30 car for what is now a 1-race deal for Jack Harvey, who has parted ways with Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan. We'll see what Connor can do in qualifying. Mark, he sees the white flag and that red and white My Jack machine.
179.569. Again, 179.569. Nick Yeoman, as he's already off of turn number 2.
And this backs up what we saw in practice. Connor looked pretty stout. In fact, for much of the day yesterday, the fastest of the Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan trio. Here comes Connor Daly, keeps it off the inside line as he rockets that car out of turn 4.
Found the smooth groove for sure, according to what we can see from the in-car camera portion. Picked up the pace a little bit, 180.288. Davey, the 2-lap average, 179.928, 179.928 for Connor Daly.
Yeah, really good. That's a good run right there. That second lap got over that 180-mile-an-hour mark. Good run for him. That 179, that's going to be solid. That's towards the front of the field, no question about it. Like I said, I think there's going to be some averages over that 180-mile-an-hour mark, especially when you get Newgarden and some of those Penske guys out there. But that was a really good run by Daly.
With that overhead view, the in-car camera off our monitor, Davey, especially through 3 and 4, he didn't look like he was fighting that wheel a lot.
That thing was smooth as could be. He had a really nice line down there. He had a nice entry, a little high, brought it down, didn't go all the way to line, freed the car up on exit, and wasn't fighting it whatsoever. That was the smoothest hands I've seen so far.
You've got Lundqvist, Canapino, Hunter Ray, Ferrucci, Elio Castro Neves, David Malukas to come, and others. Fastest so far is Connor Daly at 179.928. Devlin DeFrancesco is second quick at 178.861. Stingray Rob at 177.792. Benjamin Peterson at 176.745. And Ed Carpenter at 174.473. Those are the 5 qualifiers so far as Linus Lundqvist continues to impress. We talked to him yesterday, earlier this weekend. It wasn't that long ago. He seemed to be almost forgotten, and now he seems to be on a lot of people's short list.
Yeah, no, I think that I feel like he has something in the works, and something else that told me something yesterday when we interviewed Elio Castro Neves. Him being part of that team, going to be part of the 500, and saying, hey, I'm going to work with this team. We're going to have new drivers next year. And when he said new drivers, not new driver,
right.
I did just, my suspicion's high. Simon's my pal. I wish the best for him, and I haven't been able to talk to him here for a while, but not knowing what his situation is. But just it makes us all curious on who may be in that car next year.
So Lundqvist makes his way through turns 3 and 4 with the left sides right at the white line through the midway point of those 2 turns. Lap number 1 is in the books. 179.654 again. 179.654.
Linus Lundqvist comes to us out of the Indy Next program, the champion a year ago, and this is his IndyCar oval debut. Already setting up for turn number 3. Slices his way through that 3rd corner, hits the apex, stays in the throttle. That car drifts up the racetrack a little bit out of turn 4, but it looks fast. That pink and black machine.
Lap number 1, 179.654. Second lap, faster still, 179.654. 179.950. The two-lap average for Linus Lundqvist, 179.802, Davey. He's the second fastest qualifier of the six so
pretty
far.
good, but how about that really close time to him and Connor, the overall times at 8:02 to 9:28 at 179 in front of us. So really good run by both those drivers. I think they're both going to say, we left a little bit on the line, but you know what? They're going to have really good starting spots, and they got opportunity in this race for sure.
So you've got Daly, your fastest so far at 179.928. Then Lundqvist, then DeFrancesco, Stingray Robb, Benjamin Peterson, and Ed Carpenter. Those still to qualify. August Canapino getting ready to take his warm-up laps. Ryan Hunter-Reay, Santino Ferrucci, Elio Castro-Neves, David Malukas, and Callum Milot. You want to pay particular attention as we get to the end of the line, Davey. Going to be interesting to see what Power and Ericsson do with the cars that had to be rebuilt and repaired. Then Award, McLaughlin, Newgarden, Dixon, and Palou.
Yeah, that's right. And that we're going to
come down. I mean, I wish I would have had at least a couple more tenths gap on everyone else, but the track's good, so the track's fast, so you're going to see some good speeds, I think, once you see the, Joseph Newgarden go out, but yeah, I'm pumped to be where we're at already. I think it'll stand for a little bit, and, let's
Mike, little nerves going into that, huh?
I mean, of course. I mean, it's my first ever qualifying here on ovals, and obviously oval qualifying, you always get a little bit nervous. But I think as long as it's under control, it's actually a benefit. But yeah, no, very, very happy with our run. Again, a little bit of limited running this weekend going into the race. So, I'm happy to get every lap around this place as many as I can get. But pretty happy with it. Maybe there was a little bit more just pushing, but honestly, I don't think we could have asked for a lot more.
He can relax for now. Linus Lundqvist, Mark.
Green flag flies to the run for Ryan Hunter-Reay. Hard to believe, Nick Yeoman. This is career start number 291 for this former series champ and Indy 500 winner.
Yeah, it certainly is, and this will be an interesting run. He's the second of three Ed Carpenter Chevrolets out of the racetrack. The car owner, Ed, wasn't very happy. We'll see what the veteran Ryan Hunter-Reay can do. Mark across the start-finish line, he sees the white flag.
Certainly cool-looking liveries on those cars, Nick Yeoman. Lap number 1 of the books for Ryan Hunter-Reay, 177.371. Again, lap number 1 for Ryan Hunter-Reay, 177.371.
Now, the nose of this car is in gold, and it's kind of ocean blue. The rear of that machine, BitNile, the sponsorship, as it is on all three of these Ed Carpenter Chevrolets. Ryan Hunter-Reay keeps it off for the inside line, tries to streak his way across the start-finish line.
He clears the start-finish line and picks up the pace a little bit. Lap number 2, 178.918. The two-lap average, 178.141. Currently, Davey, fifth quick for Ryan Hunter-Reay.
One thing there, too, with Ed Carpenter being the very first car out, a bit of a disadvantage. Everybody kind of marks, and you can see the time just slowly going up from Ed. Ed was able to give probably Ryan a little advice, and hey, I left some on the table, or it was a little, put some nose wing in or whatever, just to help that teammate out. And I'm sure Hunter-Reay is going to do the same for the next, their other
Renus
teammate,
VK.
with Renus VK. Yeah, that's right.
It's interesting when you listen to Ed. There's probably nothing more frustrating. You know, he answered the question when we ask, "Hey, what's wrong?" He said, "Well, if we knew, we'd fix it." That's that level of frustration is going to be unbelievable.
That is a bummer for Ed, and it's just not there. And you know, I just think that as a team that they're going to refocus. I feel confident with that, and it may be a situation to where they just need to focus on a program and just a couple cars and put all their, you know, it's hard to run 3 cars and especially when you're just one-offs, you know, like Ed's doing. So he may, you know, I would love to see him to do the 500, but maybe for the full season might be the better thing just to run a couple cars.
Title sponsorship on the side pod, Bomarito Automotive Group and Santino Ferrucci setting up for turn 3, Nick Yeoman.
Yeah, we know if you're in the market for a new car, you could turn to the Bomarito Automotive Group. If you're in the market for a driver who will stand up on it on the ovals, it would be this guy. Santino Ferrucci out of turn number 4 marked a complete lap 1 of his qualifying run.
Lap number 1 of the books, a pretty good one, 180.314. Again, 180.314 for Santino Ferrucci.
And again, driving for the legendary A.J. Foyt. Down the back straightaway, that black car, rear and front wing of that machine in red. Santino Ferrucci arcs it in to turn number 3.
Comes off at turn number 3, and a big moment for Santino Ferrucci. That car got all kind of loose at the apex at turn number 3, and he is going to nurse it across the start-finish line all the way down to 172.881. The 2-lap average for Santino Ferrucci, 176.519. Davey, what a moment for that young driver.
Yeah, that was a big one. When you can visually see an Indycar get loose like that, it is absolutely a handful for these drivers. And I tell you what, he was on that verge. We're going to watch it again. Gets down into turn 3 really nice. It looks good. Then all of a sudden you see that back end just start sliding out. He did a really good job correcting it, not overcorrecting it. But boy, it just killed his time. Puts him all the way back in 8th out of the 9 drivers now.
Now we talked about the number of starts of Ryan Hunter-Reay. They're starting to pile up for Santino Ferrucci. He's closing in on 60 career starts. And he used every one of them to hold on to that car.
Yeah, that's right. He used every one to hold on to that car. What a bummer. When I seen that 180-mile-an-hour lap, the fastest lap turn so far in qualifying, I thought, good deal. That's going to be great. You know, let's back it up with another 180, which I think he was going to try to beat that. And like I say, the back end just didn't quite hang on and almost lost.
And again, this is one of those explanations where you ask him, say, you know, in a situation like that, it happens so fast.
And these cars, let me tell you what, they're so hard to hang on to. And let me tell you, it's hard to fill these cars. Sometimes they just take off like that. It feels good, and all of a sudden it loses grip and it goes quick.
Well, you are going to hear plenty about the drive for 5. And you heard him mention it early on, talking about Elio Castroneves. While he goes through the warm-up paces, we'll head to pit road, check in with Jay Query.
And one of those guys he famously battled with at Indianapolis, Ryan Hunter-Reay, is out of his car here in that Bitnile machine. Ryan, we talked to your teammate and owner, Ed Carpenter, and he was open about the fact that there just was something missing and it was frustrating. What would be your observation about the Bitnile Comp car you just got out of?
Yeah, I mean, it's so close here. When you're lacking a little bit, you're lacking a lot of it. So it's just, you know, just lacking some overall kind of rear grip. So it's, yeah, just a little bit off. That second lap was okay, not quite about where we wanted, but the first lap just missed the balance a little bit.
Good to see you back.
Thanks.
Ryan Hunter-Reay, Mark.
Yep, good stuff, Jake. Thank you. From Ryan Hunter-Reay, Elio Castroneves has completed 1 lap now, 178.991. And Nick Yeoman, you almost hear a sense of relief in his voice, knowing that his future is pretty well secure.
Yeah, knows that he's at least going to run the Indianapolis 500, and I thought it was awful cool that Meyer Shank Racing extended a bit of an ownership opportunity for Elio to be a minority owner in that team moving forward. That pink and black Sirius XM car completes its qualifying run.
Lap number 1, 178.991. Davey, clearly he found something he liked on lap number 2, bumped it up to 180.026, and then third quick, 179.507. Davey, we'll get your thoughts on that after we hear from Santino Ferrucci.
Yeah, real quick, I know the heart rate was up and you were shaking a little bit. That was a moment, my friend. Good save.
Yeah, I'm still shaking a little bit. I mean, I know the car is really good. I felt really comfortable. We made a couple of changes overnight, and you know, it's a really hard racetrack to pass on, so I just freaking sent it in there. And you know, I should have trusted my instincts a little bit more. I only moved the bar 1 click back for turns 3, 4, and I thought about it because I got a little bit of a moment in the first lap and thought maybe I should go to P5, and I really wish I trusted my instincts a little bit more as a racer. But, yeah.
That was a heck of a save. Well done, my friend. Good luck in the race.
Thank you.
That's Santino Ferrucci.
So again, Elio Castroneves, mile and a half, basically, mile and a half an hour he picked up on that second lap.
What that is just confidence. He got that first lap in and go, oh, it's stuck, it's good, okay, I'm good for that second lap. That's why everybody said, man, if I would have had a third lap, I would have been so much better. Well, everybody would have been. That's a kicker about 2 laps. It's not as easy as you think. And when you go into unknown conditions like today, this is the first time they're on track, Mark. They're coming out. They don't know what they expect out of these cars today, and a whole new day from yesterday. So anyways, yeah, that's he got some confidence in the first one. He laid it down in the second.
Castroneves third quick, by the way, 179.507. Daly, Lundqvist, Castroneves, Di Francesco, Canapino, your top 5. Hunter Ray, Rob Peterson, Ferrucci, and Carpenter, the top 10. David Malukas wowed the crowd here 1 year ago, trying to do it again this weekend. Nick Yeoman, lap number 1 at 180.926.
Yeah, so far this is looking like a pretty stout run for the driver from Chicago, Illinois, who I think made a lot of fans with his charge to second. We'll see what he can do later today. Mark, how does he do in qualifying? Malukas completes his run.
Checkered flag, a bit quicker, 180.926. He goes to P1 thanks to a 181.256 Davey. The 2-lap average, 181.091.
Yeah, forget the 180 I talked about. I already was shot it right past that. Went from 179 to all of a sudden up to a 181. So hang on. I mean, some fast guys are yet to come. They can maybe even get into that 182 mark, which we haven't seen this weekend yet.
A couple of guys that went out early, they did make the statement that, going out early is not the preferred way to go here. And they expected that this to happen. They expected speed to get quicker.
Yeah, it's gonna get, it's back to confidence. It's back to seeing somebody else go out there and do it. Know the track can handle it. Know the track conditions are pretty good. Try to look at the balance of the car. For example, you look at you talk to Ryan Hunter-Reay. He says his car's loose, and you've seen Ferrucci's is loose. So that's the menu for today of loose cars.
Elio Castroneves, the 2-lap average, 179.507. Jay Query.
He's made 12 starts here, and it looked like it there because that was a big boy veteran run there. That second lap, take me through it, Elio.
Yeah, first lap, first of all, great job for the entire MSR group. We weren't very happy with the setup, and today we took a gamble, changed completely the car, went a little bit on the dark, using a little bit of the technical alliance with Andretti guys, and definitely first lap I was like, okay, I didn't expect it was going to be the way it did it. I made some adjustments for the second one, and then I was like, can I have another one? But good job for everyone. Now let's work for the race.
Hard to believe, tended to believe the last non-Indy oval that we will see Elio Castroneves. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Lap number 1 of the books for Calamilot, it's 179.596, and Nick Yeoman, go back to the start of the year, back-to-back top 10 finishes, a 5th at St. Pete and a 9th at Texas, but quite frankly, the rest of the season has not gone nearly as well. His average finish 15th.
Mark, you can kind of say that about Agustin Canapino too, right? I mean, the results just haven't been there for Juncos Holliger Racing here in the second half of the season. It's been a rough summer. Doesn't look like Calamilot got much on the first lap. Might have picked it up, though, on lap number 2.
179.596 on lap number 1. Lap number 2, quicker, 180.825. Should be buoyed with a decent starting position. The 2-lap average, Davey, right now, second quick, 180.208.
Yeah, that's a decent run for him. When I say decent, puts him P2. I think that entire team is going to be happy that we've seen them up, we've seen them down, just haven't got a good footing on where a consistency of speed yet. So the Juncos Hollinger, they've been working really hard on those cars and putting a lot of effort into it. We've heard rumors about ILOP potentially going somewhere else, but runs like this could keep him right where he's at.
Favorite driver to come, folks. If you haven't seen your favorite driver yet, VK, Ray Hall, Sato, Rosenquist, Grosjean, and Herta, then Rossi, Kirkwood, Lundgaard, Power, Erickson, Award, McLaughlin, Newgarden, Scott Dixon, and Alex Palou will be your final 2 qualifiers. We mentioned Renus VK is out on the course right now, and things have started to improve a bit for him over the final quarter of the season. He, too, mentioned mentioned as a possibility of maybe moving on. We'll see. Nashville, he finished 14th, an 11th place finish at the Indianapolis GP a couple of weeks ago. Green flag flies and the run is underway for Rinus VeeKay.
Rinus VeeKay, always fun to watch qualifying here on ovals. Boy, he's so good at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll see what he can do on this mile-and-a-quarter oval in St. Louis. Nose of that car gold, back of that car rear wing, and the side pods white for Rinus VeeKay, the Dutchman, out of turn number 4.
So we're looking at the number his teammate put down, Ryan Hunter-Reay, the two-lap average, 178.1 to 4.1 for Rinus VeeKay. Nick, 177.999.
Now that organization just doesn't seem to have that strong pace that we're used to. Down the back straightaway, Rinus VeeKay. He'll pedal it into turn number 3, Mark, but he's got to find a lot here in qualifying.
And he does need to find a lot. Matter of fact, he went very low into turn number 3. Left side went below the white line. The wide swing off of turn number 4 off of 177.999. Picked it up a bit. 178.772. 8th quickest. 2-lap average. 178.385 to Michael Young.
With David Malukas quickest thus far. You started 12th last year. How do you think that's going to stand by the time we're done with the rest of the field?
I don't know. I mean, that run was pretty good. Definitely more time to find, but from the short runs that we've had, I think it was pretty good. And we've almost hit it spot on with the setup, a little bit of understeer through turn 2, but had a lot of tools to play with, so I was very happy with that. And I think no matter where we end up, I think that'll be a good enough of a place to start for the race later today.
And I think the field will be very concerned about you having a very good race car as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race. You know, a lot of good memories here, so I'm excited to make more today.
Wish you all the best later today.
Thank you.
That's David Malukas, guys. 2-lap average, quick still, 181.091.
6th place finish at St. Petersburg for Graham Rahal to start the season, and then a handful of struggles. Things started to pick up a bit. 11th at Road America, 7th at Mid-Ohio, and 9th place at Toronto, then a couple of struggles. But boy, seemed like everything came together for him. Started on pole at the Indianapolis GP, and pit strategy didn't quite work out for him, especially the one that Scott Dixon employed after he was involved in an early race incident. He did end up on the second step of the podium. So, little momentum on his side, Nick Yeoman, as he heads to Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Yeah, and let's be honest, he's not the first driver to get snookered out of a win by Mike Hull and Scott Dixon. Graham Rahal, great run in Indianapolis. We'll see if he can back it up. Blue and white, the colors on that machine. Graham Rahal already into turn number 3.
Iconic Hogan Trucking reunited with the Rahal family here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Graham points it out of turn number 4 to the start-finish line. Lap number 1, 177.837. Again, 177.837. Nick, he needs to pedal a little harder off of turn number 2.
Yeah, he really charged deep into turn number 1 here on lap number 2. We'll see if he implements a similar strategy into turn number 3. Yeah, he'll get those left side Firestones down along the red and white lines, the curbing the entrance of the corner, then lets it eat up off of turn 4 for Graham Rahal.
177.837, lap number 2, 178.886, the 2-lap average. 9th quickest, Davey, at 178.360.
Yeah, really not too bad. Pretty good run from him. I think he's getting some confidence. That's better than he's been all weekend, and the car didn't look too bad.
Jake Query.
You get a car not looking too bad. I would imagine that Caleb Milot looked like you guys had a pretty good conversation with Ricardo Juncos when you got out. How did your car feel, and take me through that conversation?
Really, really good. We've rolled up to the track with a great car, and yeah, we've been able to build on it. And today I felt the confidence straight away out of the box, and still currently P2, so that's not too bad. Yeah, hopefully we can maintain that.
Are you with Ricardo next year?
That's a tough question. Yeah, at the moment, yes. So.
We'll see what happens. Right now, provisionally second on the grid, that's 77 for Callum Ilott. Big smile on his face, as a matter of fact. Thumbs up. Good run for him here in qualifying.
Former pole sitter, former winner, Takuma Sato going through his warm-up pace. Let's go to Michael Young.
Yeah, with Rinus VeeKay, it was a tough qualification session for Ed Carpenter Racing. Your run, walk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, the conditions are quite a bit better than yesterday, so definitely went faster. Felt a lot better than yesterday, but just not good enough. Anyway, I got good guidance from Ed and Ryan going ahead of me, so that helped. We made a few changes, but it's tough. Guys are really fast here, so we have to work hard, but the BitNow.com team is working hard. We're the points are giving in a race, so that's what we're focusing on right now.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
That's Rinus VK.
Rock solid first lap, Nick Yeoman, 181.267 for Takuma Sato.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be Takuma Sato's last IndyCar race or not, but if it is, it's a good qualifying effort so far out of turn number 4. Mark, can he back up what he did in lap number 1?
Off of 181.267, a little faster, 181.587, 2-lap average, vaults him to P1 provisionally, Davey, 181.427.
Yeah, good lap. His first lap was almost identical to the lap that Malukas ran. I thought, oh, geez, everybody's been picking up on that second lap, so if he does it, it's going to shoot him on provisional pole. It looked smooth, looked good. Remember yesterday, he was actually third quick at one point, and then got high down to the marbles in 3 and 4, gathered it up, almost get into that outside barrier, but learned a little bit from that as well.
181.427, that bumps Malukas to P2. Then Eilert, Daly, Lundquist, Castro Neves, Di Francesco, Canapino, VK, and Rahal through 10th. Hunter Ray is 11th. Stingray Robb is 12th. Benjamin Peterson 13th. Santino Ferrucci is 14th. Ed Carpenter currently 15th. So Felix Rosenqvist heads out for warm-up laps now. He'll be followed by Romain Grosjean, then Colton Herta, Alexander Rossi, Kyle Kirkwood, Christian Lundgaard, then Will Power, Marcus Ericsson, Pato Award, Scott McLaughlin, Joseph Newgarden, Dixon, and Palou. So maybe plenty of intrigue left to qualify.
Yeah, it's going to continue to get faster and faster as we go. Rosenqvist, we know how good of a qualifier is. He's obviously been on a few poles. We know he can get the job done. I think he's looking, I don't know if he's looking for a ride, but he's applying to everybody for a ride, I think, because don't know where he's going to land next year. I'd like to stay right where he is, but a couple wins, maybe finish the season out strong could be good for him.
And we don't want to belabor a point. Average starting position 9th, average finish position 15th. Let's go to Jake Query.
Coming off a really good weekend for the team and for Graham Rahal. Take me through the run of that 15 Hogan machine and how it felt here at Gateway.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, performance-wise, we want to be a lot further than that, but we had a terrible practice session, had some electronic issues, had some other things that really, I mean, in essence, we barely ran at all last night. So honestly, I was coming into this completely blind, had no clue what to expect at all, and so it was decent, I think, considering that. I would have liked to find that extra 2/10 in lap 1 that we found on lap 2, because I think that would have moved us up quite a bit, but it's in one piece, and we'll go racing from there.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Graham Rahal.
Lap number 1, 181.104. Not been all bad for Felix Rosenqvist this season. Nick Yeoman does have a top 3 and a couple of top 5s.
Yeah, line looked pretty good through turns 3 and 4. He streaks across the start-finish line underneath the checkered flag of Aaron Likens. Mark, how about the run for Felix Rosenqvist? Looks like he went to the top.
He did. 181.104. Lap number 2, 182.013. The 2-lap average at Davey, 181.557 for Felix Rosenqvist.
Pretty impressive. There's that 182-mile-an-hour lap that we thought we might see, and we've seen it. So now, can somebody try to get an average in that 182? I think the conditions are really good. Speeds are going up, and I think more and more confidence. And obviously, they're on the faster guys due to points are coming up. So when we got a lot of Penske guys left, it's only 16 qualifiers out of the 20. What do we got? 27 this weekend.
We said something this morning we haven't been able to say in a while. Boy, did it feel good when we walked outside this morning.
How about that? No rain and no heat. I mean, Friday, 116 degrees with a heat index, 104 ambient temp, and then rain all day yesterday, and today did feel pretty good. Overcast, a really good day for racing.
Warm-ups underway for Romain Grosjean, Michael Young.
Yeah, with Takuma Sato as he just climbed out of the car, his last run of 2023, and how happy were you with that qualification attempt? It looked extremely quick.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. If anything, you could go a little bit more greedy. That you could always improve. But I think it was the best balance probably I had this season so far in terms of just the qualifiers. This is no offense to the team. It's good conditions. Always difficult, but and also always tough to be the first outing for the team too. But try to help the teammates, and I'm sure they're going quicker. But I think what we've done is a good job, 11 team.
Well done. Good luck in the race.
Thank you.
That's Takuma Sato, guys.
And pretty good run underway by Romain Grosjean, 181.125. Lap number 2, pretty consistent, 181.723. Davey, his two-lap average slots him in provisionally third quick. Romain Grosjean, the two-lap average, 181.424.
Yeah, talk about another driver that needs to have a little bit of luck and have some results. I mean, I think if he won the next 3 races, I'm not so sure that he still even has a locked-in ride. So he's driving for his job as well, or trying to figure out where he's going to land next. But right now, good qualifying run by Romain, provisionally third.
Talk about a guy that needs some luck. It's been feast or famine this season, Davey, for our next qualifier, Colton Herta. I mean, 20th at St. Pete. He finished 14th at Barber Motorsports Park. Had a 19th place finish in the first race at Iowa. 21st at Nashville. 13th place finish at the Indianapolis GP a couple of weeks ago. But he's also had a couple of podium finishes and a couple of top fives.
Yeah, you say he needs some consistency. Just hasn't been the Colton that we're used to seeing. Although there was 2 races I thought he was going to really kind of dominate it.
Right.
One of them was a pit strategy. They pit him just a little bit too early, ran him out of fuel. And the second one, he sped in pit lane. I think he could have 2 wins, 2 more wins underneath his belt overall right now, but just a little bad luck.
We'll watch his run while we hear from Felix Rosenqvist.
We knew that those Aero McLaren cars were going to be good. That Onsemi Chevrolet for Felix Rosenqvist, really good. Sits provisionally P1 right now. How much of that was driver adjustment? Did you go out and just drive it, or over the course of 2 laps, do you have to change the car?
I had to change it a little bit from lap 1 to lap 2. I think I lost a little bit in 3 and 4 on my first lap. Second lap was, I don't know. I wasn't super stoked with how it came together. I think it was a pretty good run, but also the track condition is getting better and better. So I felt like I needed a little bit more rolling out so early to really fight with the big dogs. So we'll see. I think if we come out in the top 7, 8, I'm pretty happy with it. But let's see what the guys can do here.
We'll see if car 6 is in the top 7 or 8. Mark.
181.930. Colton Herta, lap number 1, already setting up for turn 4.
Yeah, he let that car get awful close to the outside retaining wall at the exit of turn number 2. Takes a wide line out of turn number 4 as well. Driver of the Gainbridge Honda, Colton Herta.
And he pops to P1, lap number 2, 181.963 off of 181.930. The 2-lap average for Colton Herta, 181.946.
As African consistency, Mark, both 181, not 0.9, so that's a really good consistent run. We've seen he was fast yesterday, but had a big moment as well. Got down at turn 3, car slid up. We got the back end came around. He was another one, had fast hands, was able to save that. Got up close to the wall, but continued on with no damage.
To Romain Grosjean.
Romain Grosjean looked like a pretty good lap from the 2 laps, I should say, from that DHL Honda. How did it feel from your vantage point?
Yeah, felt really good. I think I was just a little bit too careful. It's a short time prior to the race, so I didn't want to take too much risk, but the car feels good as it was last night, so I'm quite optimistic for the race.
I look forward to watching later this afternoon. Be safe.
Thank you.
It's Romain Grosjean.
Yeah, and so here's where we stand right now. Colton Herta is your fastest qualifier thus far. Then Rosenqvist, Sato, Grosjean, and Malukas, the top 5. Eilert, Daly, Lundqvist, Castro Evans, and DeFrancesco through 10th. 11th, Canapino. 12th, VK. 13th, Rahal. 14th, Hunter Ray. 15th, Stingray Robb. 16th, Benjamin Peterson. 17th, Santino Ferrucci. And 18th fastest is Ed Carpenter. Alexander Rossi going through warm-up laps as we speak. Then Kyle Kirkwood. Then Lundgaard. Then Power, Ericsson, O'Ward, McLaughlin, Newgarden, Dixon, and Alex Palou. And Alexander Rossi dials it through turn number 3. He'll come off of 4, and he will see the green flag fly, and the run is underway for the former Indy 500 champion.
Yeah, and I'm interested, Mark, because I thought Alexander Rossi looked pretty good in practice yesterday. Nice sharp angle into turn number 1. Lets that car dig off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Lets it slide to the left, then back to the right as he sets up for turn number 3.
Boy, that orange really pops, believe it or not, underneath these cloudy skies here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's a good-looking race car with the accents of that light blue. Lap number 1 of the books, 180.988. Again, 180.988 for Alexander Rossi already into turn number 2.
Had that car pinned to the inside line through turns 1 and 2. That is the preferred lane, no doubt, in qualifying. The Californian Alexander Rossi into turn number 3 as he charges his way out of corner number 4 to complete his qualifying run.
And again, lap number 1 for Alexander Rossi, 180.988. Lap number 2, again, a consistent run, 180.963. Davey, the 2-lap average for Alexander Rossi, provisionally 6th fastest at 180.975.
You're not sure he's he's going to be content with that. It looked like the car just wasn't quite to his liking. It maybe left a little bit on the table. P6 right now. I think it could be a top 10 start, but he's ready to have a start towards the front of the field to get a win under his belt as well this year.
So again, Colton Herta right now provisionally sets P1 at 181.946 miles per hour, his 2-lap average. Rosenquist is second fastest, then Sato, Grosjean, Malukas the top 5. Rossi, Eilert, Daly, Lundquist, and Castroneves the top 10. Di Francesco was 11th, Canapino was 12th, then VK, Rahal, Hunter Ray. Then Rob, Peterson, Ferrucci, and Carpenter watching the driver put his car through the warm-up paces now. We're watching Kyle Kirkwood, a 2-time winner this season, and he's been pretty dominant on the street circuits, Nick Yeoman, as he takes the green flag.
Yeah, he's got a pole to his name as well. Did that at Long Beach. We'll see what Kyle Kirkwood can do in that pink and white AutoNation machine for Andretti Autosport. Out of turn number 2, he'll let that car get awful close to the outside retaining wall. The American Kirkwood from Florida darts into turn number 3.
Now a familiar, I think, AutoNation paint scheme associated with Kyle Kirkwood as he guides it off of turn number 4. Barely missed that outside retaining wall. Lap number 1 is in the books for Kyle Kirkwood, 180.608. Again, 180.608. We'll recap the run after we hear from the driver provisionally. P1, Colton Herta.
Yeah, I peeked down into turn number 4. And I thought Colton Herta was having a moment, but that's how far you were letting that car hang out. You were right up on the outside of that wall. Great run, provisionally P1 thus far. Walk us through.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much the max that we could hope for. The balance felt really good, and our times lap 1 to lap 2 were really close. So I think we nailed the deg there, and we'll have to wait and see. I think the track will probably get a little bit better, and maybe guys will go faster. But I'm hoping that time holds on.
Go. Best of luck in the race.
Thank you.
There you go. That's Colton Herta again. That 2-lap average 181.946.
A consistent run for Kyle Kirkwood off of 186.08. Lap number 2, 180.576. Provisionally, Davey, 2-lap average 180.592. He's currently 7th quick.
He's currently 7th quick. Not sure he's going to be content with that. I mean, like I said, we continue to say you can win from anywhere in this racetrack. It's going to be a lot of fun watching these guys. But I think that's a little off where Kyle like to be.
So we've got Lundgaard, who's out going through his warm-up paces now. Then Will Power, Marcus Ericsson, Pato Award, Scott McLaughlin, Joseph Newgarden, Dixon, and Pillow. We should make mention to the fact some of these drivers we're going to see qualified, Davey. It's going to be, I think, important for them to get all they can out of this because we've got McLaughlin, Dixon, Sato, Kirkwood, Canapino, and Pillow, all with 9-spot grid penalties.
Oh, that's right. That's you know what? It's going to be all mixed up here, and I forgot about that. Just so what we're telling you what's going to happen may not happen because some of the cars going faster, including Sato in that P3 spot right now with the grid penalty. He's going to find his way towards the back. So, yeah, what we're telling you, folks, after the grid penalties from engine changes is going to be a completely different lineup.
Been a pretty good season all in all, Nick Yeoman, for Christian Lundgaard. I mean, a 7th-place finish at Road America. He finished 4th at Mid-Ohio, of course, the winner at Toronto, and then the last couple of races, a 9th-place finish at Nashville and a 4th-place finish at the Indianapolis GP. Second half of the season, especially after a disastrous month of May, been rock solid for this driver.
I kind of look at Christian Lundgaard as best in class, as he's done a really nice job. Enters this weekend 8th in IndyCar points. Lap number 1 is in the books as the driver for Rahal Letterman Lanigan already darting his way down the back straightaway. Hy-Vee, the sponsorship on that car. Black and red, the colors mark as he shoots his way into the 3rd corner.
That lap number 1, Nick spoke of, 178.820. Not going to be happy with this run, we don't think. 178.820. Lap number 1. Lap number 2, 178.848. Davey, the 2-lap average, 178.834, 13th fastest.
Yeah, and talk about consistency on that one as well. I mean, we know Lundgaard had a great run, got a win underneath his belt, has some momentum going on. But got to remember, he's not an oval specialist. He hasn't been to that many. He's still trying to get the hang of it. That Rahal team still struggling just a little bit. Although he came closer to Daly in one of his teammates and got ahead of Graham right in between them.
Let's hear from Kyle Kirkwood, Michael Young.
We talked about, or have been talking about, consistency and comfort in the car. How was your run?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best run that I've ever had, but we were a little bit on the free side. I was happy with the run though.
given the balance that I had, it's crazy that you can have like so many different cars that are out here that are pretty much set up the same, and they all give you a little bit of a different feeling compared to your teammates. So it's so interesting. But I'm happy with that. We're one of the cars getting a grid spot penalty at the end of this, so we knew we were going to be qualifying deep anyways. But we know we got a good race car. Based on our practice yesterday, I was super happy with our pace and traffic, so that's going to be our advantage.
Good luck in the race.
Thank you.
That's Kyle Kirkwood.
3-car incident in practice last night. Only 2 of them were damaged. One of the cars belonging to Will Power, who's qualifying now. A long night for that team to get that car put back together, along with Marcus Ericsson. Started with Scott McLaughlin spun, so Will Power comes off of turn number 4. We'll see what lap number 1 looks like for Will Power. He's fast all day yesterday. 180.774. Again, lap number 1, Nick Yeoman, 180.774.
He exits turn number 2. That's where that accident happened yesterday. That hard contact with Marcus Ericsson. Will Power, Verizon, the sponsorship, red and black machine, the driver from Toowoomba, Australia, one of the veterans and the best qualifiers in IndyCar history. Will Power out of turn number 4.
180.774. Lap number 2, 181.119. 2-lap average slots him in provisionally. 7th fastest, 180.946 to Jake Query.
Alexander Rossi is out of his machine. Seemed like yesterday during practice you had a pretty good car. Did it translate over to today, or did it leave you chasing a little bit?
No, it was a good car. I think we missed the gear a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we beat Will there, so that's a good thing. So we'll see how it goes. I think we should be in the top 10 or just out of it.
Just in terms of traffic itself, obviously you're constantly going to be in traffic on a track like this. Pretty good car in traffic?
Yeah, it's still difficult to pass around here, obviously, but the overcast, the cool temps should make it pretty racy. Like, it was a lot of grip here, even compared to the night last night, so I think it'll be a good show.
Good luck to you. Thanks. Alexander Rossi. Mark?
Don't adjust your set. That is the car of Marcus Ericsson going through warm-up paces
that's right.
now.
It doesn't look like you said. That's the Frankenstein car we talked about. Mostly it's Pelot's tub and main part of the car, but they did add Ericsson's wings on it, put a little bit of red on the top of it, try to differ that number 8 car for Marcus Ericsson, who was victim of circumstance as well when McLaughlin spun and Power and him had to avoid. So we'll see what they can do. His teammate ran pretty darn good. I think he's already been out. One of the Ganassi cars actually was Sato in P3.
Just a couple of finishes outside of the top 10 this season for Marcus Ericsson. He finished 27th at Mid-Ohio. He finished 11th at Toronto. Nothing but top 10s other than that. Started the season with a bang, Nick Yeoman, with a win at St. Petersburg. Marcus Ericsson's been in championship contention again this season.
I always wonder how awkward this is, right? This past week announced that he's moving on to another team, but still 3 races to go with Chip Ganassi. A lot of good memories, though, as you mentioned. They've had some strong runs and won the Indianapolis 500 a year ago. Marcus Ericsson in that red, white, and blue car completes lap number 1.
Lap number 1 is in the books for Marcus Ericsson, and oh my goodness, 178.742, Davey, for Marcus Ericsson.
Not going to be content with that, and I think it's a situation as well. I mean, obviously he's the Indy 500 winner. He knows ovals, but some of these short ovals are a bit challenging, I think, for him. Not confidence yet, and they may need to just tweak on that car a little bit. We know it's put together properly, and there's no question about Ganassi's team getting it right. I just think it lacks a little bit of confidence. Second lap, 179.0. Didn't pick up a lot, but picked up a little bit in that 13th position right now.
13th fastest, 178.901. Jake Query.
Christian Lundgaard is out of his 45 Hy-V machine. How was the run for you?
Pretty good. I think probably there's the potential that Connor did. I think that was in the car. I struggled a little bit with entry and stability into one, and then I hit some mid to exit understeer, and I tried to correct for that on the second lap, but didn't quite manage to. But the car was in a good winner today.
Appreciate the time, Christian Lundgaard. Michael Young?
Yeah, with Will Power. Will, from yesterday to today, I know that team worked hard to get that car fixed. How was it to your liking?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's a good balance. It was, don't know where the time was. I think we kind of changed gears a little bit last night. So I had to get used to that pattern a little bit. It was a good run. Yeah, it's I don't know what else could have done.
180.946. That was a qualifying 2-lap for Will Power.
We talked a little bit about Felix Rosenquist. How about his teammate in terms of average start and average finish? An average starting position of 6th for Pottle Ward, our next qualifier. Average finish of 8th, Davey.
Yeah, this is another one that they're qualifying good with that Arrow McLaren team. They just need to get some finishes under their belt where they're a little more consistent and a little farther up front.
A couple of races have cost him an opportunity to be a serious threat for a championship. 17th place finish at Long Beach, a 24th place finish at the Indianapolis 500, and a 26th place finish at Detroit. Looking to finish strong is Pottle Ward as he takes the green flag and guides it into turn number 2.
Mark, just wanted to point out the side pods on Potto's car are black. The side pods on Rosenquist's a very dark gray for when the inevitable happens to one of us during the race, maybe both. We'll see what Potto does in that nearly identical Chevrolet for Arrow McLaren. The line looks pretty good. Car, maybe a bit of a wiggle out of turn number 4. Pottle Ward about to complete lap number 1.
Everyone chasing Colton Herta, 181.9 to 46. Lap number 1, 181.782. Already setting up for turn number 2 is Pottle Ward.
Always a lot of Pottle Ward fans. I can see a bunch of them standing and sitting right down there near the start-finish line. They gave a wave, and they're going to see their driver from Mexico charge out of turn number 4. Here comes Pottle Ward to complete his qualifying run here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Lap number 1 in the books, 181.782. Lap number 2, 181.661. The 2-lap average for Pottle Ward. Second fastest, 181.722. Falls a little short of Colton Herta at 181.9 to 46. Third fastest, Felix Rosenquist. Takuma Sato is 4th fastest. 5th fastest is Grosjean. Then it's Malukas, Rossi, Power. Kirkwood and Eilert the top 10. Daly's 11th. Lundqvist is 12th. 13th, Castro Neves. 14th, Erickson. 15th, DeFrancesco. 16th is Lundgaard. 17th, Canapino. 18th, VK. 19th, Rahal. 20th, Hunter Ray. 21st, Stingray Rob. Peterson, Ferrucci, and Carpenter, the 24 qualifiers again. Everyone chasing Colton Herta at 181.946. Scott McLaughlin is up next. We talked to him earlier. He says he still has to achieve the level of comfort that he would like on the ovals. Each time out, he tries to get more and more comfortable. We'll see what his level of comfort is now as the green flag flies for the Team Penske driver who sets up for turn number 1.
Odyssey Batteries, the sponsorship on that red and white Chevrolet for Team Penske's Scott McLaughlin. Did end up with a podium finish here a year ago, Mark, coming home in the 3rd position, but Scott McLaughlin always looking for a little bit more. Car 3 into turn 3, it's Scott McLaughlin.
14th place finish at the Indianapolis 500, and he has been on a tear. Nothing but top 10s since, including a couple of runner-up finishes at Iowa and also at Iowa, and we should say at Nashville. So it's been a good second half of the season for Scott McLaughlin, and a good first lap, Nick Yeoman, 182.508.
Could this be a provisional pole run for the driver from down under? Scott McLaughlin takes his way into turn 3 and 4. Lets that car stay right in the rubber that's been laid down. The line looks good out of turn 4 for Scott McLaughlin.
Off of 182.508, 183.395. The 2-lap average, 182.951.
Wow, impressive. 183.395. Didn't know if we'd see anybody in that 183 range, but holy smokes, almost a 183 average, as you said, a 182.951.
So 182.508, 183.395, the 2-lap average. Slacks him in at P1 at 182.951. Herta now goes to second quick. Award, Rosenquist, and Sato the top 5, Michael Young.
We just saw a monster 2-lap average from Scott McLaughlin. Pottle Award, though, 181.722 comfort level in that car. Happy with that?
Yeah, happy with that. You got to go, not that you have to go conservative in these situations, but this track will bite if you get too greedy. So for us today, the most important thing is just having a good starting position. So I think we've done that, and we'll see what Joseph's got in both Palau and Dixie. But I think we're in good shape.
Good luck in the race. Great job. That's Pottle Award.
Going for the 4-peat here, trying to sweep the ovals, including a doubleheader weekend in Iowa. And oh, by the way, the Indianapolis 500 as well. Joseph Newgarden looking for win number 5 in his career here, Nick Yeoman, already into turn number 1.
Mark, we've been racing IndyCars for a long, long time, and never in the history of this sport has anyone won every single oval event in a given season. That's what Joseph Newgarden has a chance to do later today. Awful strong in qualifying as well. That PPG Chevrolet already darting his way out of turn 4.
Boy, that wheel looks awfully good. He's not getting fought at all as he puts input into that steering. Lap number 1, 182.108. Joseph Newgarden already setting up for turn number 2.
Blue and white machine, and of course the multicolors of that PPG sponsorship from the driver from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He won at Texas. He won at Indianapolis. Won both races at Iowa. What could he do here in qualifying? Joseph Newgarden. It's a high line out of turn number 4, but Mark, he rockets his way towards the start-finish line.
182.108, 182.673. Not faster than McLaughlin, but still plenty fast. The two-lap average, Davey, 182.390.
Yeah, what a huge relief we see with McLaughlin. He still has his helmet on, but you can see the smile through it that he just beat his teammate Joseph Newgarden, and both going to be happy with those runs. I don't think he left anything on the table. I think that's how close they are. Barely, it's to what? Not even half a tenth of a mile an hour.
Yeah, and I think Pato Award, very matter of fact, Davey. I mean, he knows that he can race from where he's going to start from.
Yeah.
Even with a couple of qualifiers
Yeah, Pato, he's solid right there. So is Rosenquist. Those guys just need to get some finishes. Need to make sure they make no mistakes throughout the race. Just get that checkered flag, and if they could do that, they're going to be towards the front.
Well, 19s were wild for Scott Dixon at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway a couple of weeks ago. Davey, career start 319, and also 19 years with at least one win. Let's hear from the guy who's currently P1, Scott McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, you made it look easy. Question is, was it that?
No, it's never easy on a short oval. But the Odyssey battery car was so fast yesterday and really good confidence for me heading into qualifying. So we'll see if we hold on here for the next couple. We've got a 9-place grid spot penalty, so I just want to get pole if I can and start 9.
I saw kind of the demonstrative relief when you saw Newgarden's time. Is that the biggest arrow you got to dodge?
No, it's just like you want to beat your teammates, and I'm competitive as crap. So yeah, I just want to beat all of them.
Appreciate your time, Scott.
Thank you, mate.
Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah, good stuff. What a year it's been for Scott Dixon, Nick Yeoman. He finished 27th at Long Beach. Other than that, he's not finished worse than 7th this season.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, top 6 in the last 10 races. It's been overshadowed by the incredible year that his teammate Alex Palou has had, but make no mistake, Scott Dixon's having a typical Scott Dixon-like summer.
Lap number 1 in the books for Scott Dixon, 181.346, and not a pole speed, but still plenty fast.
Car looked a little unstable at the exit of turn number 2. We'll see if Scott can woe it back down to maybe find a little speed and stability through turns 3 and 4. It's the PNC Bank Honda for Chip Ganassi Racing out of the 4th corner.
181.346. Lap number 2, pretty consistent, 181.539. The two-lap average for Scott Dixon, Davey, 181.442, 6th fastest.
Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty happy with that. I mean, just a good race car. Give Scott just a good race car and the strategy and his talent to bring him, where he needs to be. But always want to be a little quicker, but that's pretty good for Scott.
Michael Young.
I know you're disappointed you didn't get the pole, but that was a heck of a qualification run. I always want to beat your teammate, but 182 is pretty stout.
Yeah, it was good for Team Penske. Just an okay run from us, so move on to the race.
We'll wish you all the best, and I'm sure you'll do pretty good.
Thanks.
There you go. That's Joseph Newgarden, guys.
Points leader Alex Palou is our final qualifier.
Yep.
Davey, going to be interesting to watch this run.
Yeah, right now it is going to be interesting. You got to look at his teammates. One of them just went. That was Scott Dixon. Sits in P6 right now. If he could just kind of equal that, and he has a grid penalty as well, so he needs to qualify as good as he can, knowing that he's not going to start towards the front. But the farther you qualify up front, the less the pain is when you get that penalty.
14 starts on the season, 4 wins, a couple of poles, 8 top 3 finishes, 11 top 5s, and 14 top 10s. An incredible stat for Alex Palou. In 61 career starts to go along with his 8 wins and 3 poles. Now get this, 23 times, Davey, he's finished in the top 3 in 61 starts.
Just unbelievable. I mean, and that shows why he's almost a 2-time champion, and he's getting the job done from the time he set an Indycar. He's just consistent. He's a good guy. I just hate seeing all the controversy around him, but he's been able to accept that pretty good and still run for championships.
Lap number 1 is in the books for your points leader, Alex Palou, already setting up for turn number 2.
Yeah, not only running for that championship, Davey, but he's got a chance if he outpoints Joseph Newgarden and Scott Dixon by a couple spots this weekend where he could clinch it. The Spaniard, Alex Palou, looking for championship number 2. He's got the American Legion colors this weekend, Mark, out of turn 4.
May have mistakenly said lap number 1 was in the books. That was actually the start of lap number 1. Lap number 1, 181.546. Again, 181.546 6 for Alex Palou off of turn number 2.
So consistent, so smooth, never beats himself. That's why he has had such a spectacular season. Alex Palou, the final qualifier out of turn number 4, about to put this thing in the books. Here comes the Spaniard, Mark, as he rips underneath the start-finish line.
181.546, lap number 2, 181.652. The 2-lap average, 5th fastest, 181.599. So Scott McLaughlin will lead the field to the green flag later today, Jay Query.
Scott Dixon is out of his PNC Bank machine, and this is probably going to be a really dumb question, but when you go into it knowing that you have that grid penalty, does it in any way, shape, or form change how much you're going to push?
No, I think you're always trying to get the maximum out of it. You know, I think there's maybe 6 or 7 of us that are getting good penalties today. So that's it's always the tough part, obviously, of the business. But yeah, it is what it is, and we'll push on here.
How's the car in traffic?
Car actually seems pretty good. You know, we didn't get a whole lot of laps that we, kind of would have liked to, with some issues in the practice and obviously with delayed track time. But all in all, it seems okay. We'll have to see what it's like over the long run.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Scott Dixon, Mark.
So we'll wait to hear from your pole sitter here momentarily. We can tell you rolling off in row number 14 will be Santino Ferrucci and Ed Carpenter. Row number 13 will be Stingray Robin, Benjamin Peterson. Row 12, Graham Rahal and Ryan Hunter-Ray. Row number 11, Augustin Canapino and Ritas VK. Row number 10, Devlin DeFrancesco and Christian Lundgaard. Elio Castroneves, Marcus Ericsson. Row number 9, and row 8, it'll be Connor Daly and Linus Lundqvist. Row number 7, Kyle Kirkwood, Callum Eilert will finish that starting lineup for the race later today after we hear from our pole sitter, Scott McLaughlin.
Pole number 5, one from the pole in Nashville. You just told me a little bit earlier, yeah, I'm okay on these ovals, and boy, that was pretty impressive. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, look, I'm really pumped. Really proud of the Odyssey battery crew. Car was awesome. It's hooked. Just really, really proud. And first oval pole was really cool. Too bad we're going to take a penalty, but I'll take it, and we'll get the sticker, and we'll move forward.
There you go. Well done, and congratulations. Looking forward to a great race from you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
There you go. That's Scott McLaughlin.
Pick it back up in row number 7. It'll be Kyle Kirkwood and Callum Eilert. Row number 6, Rossi and Power. Row 5, Grosjean, Malukas. Then Dixon and Sato. Row 4, Palou and Rosenquist. Row 3, Row 2, Herta, Award, McLaughlin, and Newgarden on the front row. Again, Alex Palou rose off 5th today. Jay Query.
The key for Alex Palou is to try to pick up 8 points after this race today. He does have the grid penalty, but you walk away from here with 8 additional points in your lead, and you are the points champion. Is it difficult to not sit there and constantly look at the points chart and keep track of it and all of that goes into it?
No, not really, honestly. It's been a really good year, and I cannot express how lucky and happy I am for being in the position we are now, with the points lead and with the gap that we have. But honestly, we're fully focused on trying to get the win today. Was a tough day yesterday for us. Didn't really find the pace or the feeling on the car that we needed, but today was really good. So yeah, the engine penalty is not gonna help us to get those 8 points and also the win, but we will try hard, and hopefully it's gonna be a good day for us.
Does anything rattle you? Because over the course of the years we've talked about it, there's always seemingly outside the cockpit something going on, and then you get in it and it's like you're in a vacuum. What's the secret?
I don't know, man. Honestly, that's my job. My job is just to drive cars as fast as I can, and that's what I try and do. That's what I love. And yeah, there's a lot of noise. Hopefully one day everything will be settled and I'll be just a normal, boring driver out of the track, and I cannot wait for that to happen.
Well, you do the driving fast part well. Do it safely today.
Thank you.
Alex Palou.
He's a lot of things, but I don't think he's ever going to be a boring driver. That's for darn sure. When all those troubles outside of the cockpit do go away, we think that'll happen soon for him, but never going to be a boring driver, as talented as he is, for sure. In case you weren't with us last night, race this weekend already in the books. Indy Next presented by Firestone. It was late last night, but Nick Yeoman, still a good show.
Yeah, good opportunity for those young drivers to get a chance to race under the lights. Qualifying got rained out, so we set the order based on points. Christian Rasmussen dominated the first third of the race. Then all of a sudden, Mark, we thought the handling went away on the driver from Denmark's car. They got in lap traffic, and Daniel Frost caught him and passed him. Hunter McElroy did as well. And then Christian Rasmussen Rasmussen turned up the wick and found that speed again, really dominated the second half of the race. We saw a late charge from Louis Foster to get to second, but it was Christian Rasmussen winning his 4th race of the season, Mark. He's now got a 50-point lead. They've got 3 races left, one at Portland and then a doubleheader at Laguna Seca, but it was an impressive victory for Christian Rasmussen yesterday.
Barbarino Automotive Group 500, presented by Exalta and Valvoline, comes your way at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central Time this afternoon. It'll be Jake Query and Michael Young on pit road. Nick Gilman on the call. High atop turn number 4 with yours truly and Davey Hamilton here in the broadcast booth. Looking forward to it. Again, your front row, Scott McLaughlin, your pole center. Joseph Dugarden going for the 4-peat, trying to sweep all the oval races in the same season here in the NTT IndyCar Series. Plenty of storylines to follow, and we'll keep you up to date with all of them throughout the course of the race. We hope you will join us. Still plenty of activity for those of you here at the track. USAC Silver Crown Show, and then, of course, the race a little bit later on today. Lots going on here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. We hope you are here and enjoying the day. Those of you that aren't, we'll try our best to make you feel like you are. The director of IndyCar Radio is Chris Pollock. On-site engineering and production courtesy of Rick Evans. Master control operations by Sam Rumsa. And production assistance there courtesy of Paul Levitt. Great job by Michael Young and Jake Query with tremendous insight and conversations with drivers on the pit road. For Nick Yeoman and our driver analyst Davey Hamilton, this is Mark James. So long for now from Worldwide Technology Raceway.
The preceding was an exclusive copyrighted presentation of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network.
Miss a broadcast? Listen on Spotify or at IndyCarRadio.com.
The American Legion family at Speedway Post 500 wishes Alex Palou and the number 10 Be The One American Legion team all the best at today's event. Alex and his crew have done a great job representing and honoring all of the country's service members past and present. Learn how the American Legion can help you, your community, and how you can get involved and be the one. Go to legion.org. That's legion.org.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-896-1013. 800-896-1013. 800-896-1013. That's 800-896-1013.